Good evening, race fans. I hope you're having a happy Thursday evening. We got a great surprise for you tonight. We're doing a special edition here for the Underdog Racing League, coming to you live from virtual Brazil here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, also known as Interlagos. And joining me tonight are trusty commentator slash color commentator Peter Lee. Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Chris. Really looking forward to seeing what this new W12 Formula One Mercedes can do.
Yes, me as well. I had to buy the car this evening, and that not for lack of want to. I've been away from my rig for a little bit, unfortunately, but I'll tell you what, just watching these guys on the practice and qualifying so far, very, very jealous that they get to run these cars around one of my favorite tracks. Also joining us tonight is running the cameras and the overlays and keeping us in line here, Pim Luth. Pim, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. This was the track where Max Verstappen took his amazing overtake in that rain. I'll look outside. It does look a little bit cloudy. I'm not sure if the rain is coming here in Interlagos, but I'm just really glad that we're finally having a Formula One race here on KVK Racing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Formula One specifically. We are following a couple of the FIA rules as this league's figuring out the series. Specifically, drivers will have to run two different compounds during the race. It was a little unclear to me if they need to start the race on whichever compound they qualified on. However, either way, they're going to have to be changing tires. There's no fuel strategy necessarily, but you will see some tire strategy at play here tonight, which I'm looking forward to calling. A little further information about specifically tonight. We were running fixed setups, like you mentioned, Pim. Nice, great, cool day to go racing here in Brazil. It's track temp of 97 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too hot, but these cars should stick a little bit better than some of those temperatures it can get to in full summertime there. Light winds. We got 2 minutes left in our 10-minute open qualifying session, which we can start talking about here shortly. After that, we're going to have a 30-lap race. And we've got one fast repair. People who don't watch iRace or play iRacing, one fast repair means basically they get one do-over. Fix the car up and instantaneously once you get into the pits, but only one. So there you go. And outside of that, there's no incident penalties or anything like that.
All right, Chris, good to know that. We do see a lot of new names for us here at KVK. We haven't done this before, and we haven't practiced much on the names, so sorry if we misspell some names or mispronounce some names. I currently do see, to go you quickly back to the qualification, that Justice Murphy has taken the first position. He's still driving up here in that. He's made him yellow. I like the color of this Mercedes.
I know that pains you to say.
Yeah, Justice is in the provisional pole, but he's being pursued by Nick Alves right now in the 995 car. And Carl, I guess we would say Cukes, provisionally in P3. And so, it's still about just under a minute left in this qualifying session. And so we will still have a chance for some of these other cars to get and snatch that pole.
Yeah, Peter, and I do want to call out Peyton Presley. We saw that he had some difficulties in practice getting out of the pit, but he has found some speed. He's getting into the regular pack over here. He's currently on a 1.9, but I do see that he's getting faster and faster every lap. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do in the race.
Well, Pim, the pit entry and exit, is going to be important here because it's a long pit lane. Every car will have to pit at least once in order to change tires. The pit exit in particular is narrow and has some tight curves, and so all the drivers are going to have to be careful when they're exiting pits.
Well, it's going to end the qualifying session. Looks like there are a couple drivers who are out on track who will be able to finish their lap. I will say Grant Thorpe right there at the very end, able to snatch that third spot away over Carl Cukes. Also, Jacob Sirkovich will jump ranks there into the fourth position, pushing Carl and the rest of the field just a little bit further down. So one thing I noticed here in practice, which is playing out in qualifying, is there's not a whole lot of separation between these drivers on their lap times. I mean, within 2 seconds or so throughout the field. So that's something to look forward to as these drivers are going to be racing down into turn one. Real quickly, Peter, if you can, what you were taking note of some of the turns that you think are going to be we should pay extra special attention to that could create some issues for these drivers.
For sure. This is a racetrack of about 2.7 miles, 15 turns. But for these Formula One cars, with their aerodynamics and with their grip, it's really effectively only 11 turns. But several of them are exceptionally challenging. And turn one maybe being the most. Because as these cars come screaming down the front straight at up to about 200 miles per hour, in order to make turn one, they'll have to slow down from 200 miles per hour down to about 80. In order to make that left-hand turn. And so the compression, the closing speeds are going to be tremendous. And then as they enter the track, they come to an off-camber turn 4, another high speed, about 100 mile per hour left-hander, and then a super fast entry into turn 8 going into the S's, where they will slow down from about 130 miles per hour all the way down to about 70. And so we'll be looking for just a tremendous amount of action at all of those corners.
Peter, we do have the qualification right up here. Justice Murphy scored that first position in a 108.4. Nick Alves right behind there. Grant Thorpe, Jacob Serkovic, and then Carl Cukes, Justin Stunnert, Andy Wildermuth, Parker Johnston. As I said, all new names, but looks very fast. 1.4 seconds for Parker Johnston. Peyton Presley, Kevin Orlando, Brad Ringer, and Scott Kaberg on the 12th position. Have a quick look if we... That is the whole pack that we have so far. So we are ready. Are we ready? Guys, are we ready?
We are ready. Interesting here. It looks like we're going to be doing a rolling start for today's race, which I was not expecting, but this should be a lot of fun and almost like a restart there in a regular Formula One race, which always gets a little interesting. Only this time we're doing it double file.
Yeah, very interesting.
It is interesting, and I actually wonder if this creates more danger on the first lap in turn one, because these cars might have quite a bit of speed.
Well, we see already the first one going down. We haven't even started yet, and we miss already 2 wings and 4 tires. That was...
The one thing about these... that was... I believe that was Carl.
Yeah, Carl
Hughes,
Cukes.
Jacobs.
Justin Stunnert, we see had some issues. So that means we already have a change, Chris. This is exciting to see. We haven't even done the first lap and we already lose 2 cars.
Well, luckily they have that fast repair, so they should be able to tow back to the pits and get it all fixed up and hopefully not miss too much of the race here as the pace car is coming around one of the final turns here.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. We know rolling starts are not normally done in Formula One, so I'm really looking forward to see how that actually goes up here. Pit car will go in quite late, and they have a lot of speed, so they can go immediately very, very fast. Lights are currently still not on.
Yeah, I think these cars will want to be in the 3rd or 4th gear here just to avoid losing the rear end on the start. They'll have to be exceptionally careful here.
All right, guys. Pace car is in. The lights are off. Looks like they're going off.
Wiggle there from Justice Murphy.
And immediately there on the inside, tries to overtake, but it can't make that happen. We already see cars coming out of the pit, so that you were right, Chris. And it looks actually we came through corner 1 completely free.
Yeah, good on these drivers. Looks like everybody's... we got Eddie Wildermuth off the track just a little bit. He's going to lose 2 spots there by my count. Going to tuck in, though, behind Parker Johnston. No worse for the wear.
I do have to say it goes very, very quickly over here. Currently we see Kevin Orlando on the 6th position trying to go into Eddie Wildermuth. Oh, I think Grant Thorpe made a huge off track over there. Let's have a quick look what exactly happened. Oh, he just slided over there and went off track.
Yeah, similar fate there for Justin Snutter, just a little bit prior to that. So
and also now Brad Ringer has gone off track. His car seems to be okay as he's coming around turn.
Oh, and we do see also that Eddie is now making a big mistake. Eddie Wildermuth was on that fourth position, but is now turned around, and he can actually turn that car around. Needs to hurry up because there are going to be a lot of people coming in here.
Yeah, in fact, Justin Stannard is just coming in with a ton of momentum right behind, and is going to come side by side and in fact be able to cut in for turn 4.
Then we see Justice Murphy right on that first position. Look, looks like he's really steady with that car. Together with Nick Alves, they really run away from the rest of the pack. Parker Johnson has difficulties to actually catch up.
Meanwhile, Kevin Orlando did swap ends going into turn 8, but has not damaged the car and is back on track.
And look at this, how we're 3 laps in and already we have a big difference in all the timings. And while I say that, Justin Murphy just reported a 1:10. That's 1 second faster than the whole field.
Indeed, the field has spread out now. Grant Thorpe has finished his tow and repairs and is exiting the pits now and re-entering the race.
Well, then Eddie is going to go into the pit to actually to have a look what he can do over there. So he will, but I think that this will happen more often. Let's have a quick look what Kevin Orlando is doing. He's on the 6th position currently, trying to catch up with Carl Cukes, who's running 5th even after those incidents. Nicely done.
Just ahead of Carl Cukes is Jacob Sirkovich, and Jacob is really trying to chase down and close up the gap to Parker Johnston, who is right now holding down the 3rd position.
To bring up that Parker Johnston is the only one there in the top 5, I believe, that has the soft tire compound. He started the race on the softs, meaning he's going to be a little bit quicker here, but those tires will fall off just a touch more. And we may be starting to see the very first early signs of that. So 2 different strategies at play for him. He is up 5 spots, though. That worked out for him in the early race. He's up 5 spots to that 3rd place position right now.
Yeah, Chris, we were talking, the 3 of us, about this tire choice to start the race. And, you know, the soft compound is not a bad idea here to get your feet wet, to get into the rhythm. And do an early pit stop to switch to the mediums. And so it'll be interesting to see, and keep an eye on Parker Johnston to see how this works out. Looks like we have Eddie Wildermuth again having another issue and is in the midst of a tow once again.
Well, Parker needs to look out because Jacob Sirkovich is definitely coming closer and closer, and here he's going to go for it. Well, you did have a look on that, but can't make that. And now we have that long straight. We do that Mercedes is strong on that long straight, but they're both having a Mercedes, so curious to see how he can do that. It looks like he's going to make a move. Look at that, they're going for the inside. Ooh!
Gonna run out of room there on the outside.
Scott Kerberg has gone into the pits and made a tire change and is now on his way out.
Well, let's have a quick look because we see Justin Stewart. Oh, yes, I was still thinking of that.
Broadcaster curse right there.
And that was the broadcaster curse, but welcome and thank you very much. Let's have a quick look at... yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looked just like he was trying to really make sure that he bit it there on the inside of that turn and got the position, and unfortunately the tires just locked up enough to get him into that inside wall there. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I was just monitoring the speed, and he was coming in at close to 90 miles per hour at the turn, and that's probably a little bit beyond the capabilities of this W12 Mercedes.
Well, while you guys were watching the replay, we do see that Jacob Servic is going for another attack over here. Going really having a different line, goes on the inside, tries to squeeze out here his position, and it does the work on that. Look at that. Nice move from Jacob Servic, moves up to the 3rd position, onto the podium.
A quick update on the exit of turn 8. Carl Cukes has hit the wall and is in the midst of a tow.
What a speed these cars have.
Yeah, it's a handful of car to drive, and especially, I mean, it's tough on a track like this. It's got a little bit of every type of turn that you could ever dream of. So that there's a reason that it's so historic and famous and all that. So just hats off to all these guys for even attempting this. To be honest with you, it does look like survival is the name of the game so far, except for Justice Murphy and Nick Elvies. These guys seem to be doing all right. Justice specifically 0 off tracks and continues to stretch that lead out now to 4.5 seconds as he starts the lap 7 of 30. And credit where it's due to Nick Alves as well here. He's kind of starting to lose a little bit of time, like we said, Justice Murphy, but really firmly in that 2nd spot. So, you know, keeping your head down and hitting your marks, it's going to be key for him. I don't know that you can count on Justice Murphy to necessarily make a mistake, but I think at this moment with the lead growing, that's maybe kind of what he's hoping for. But
yeah, we did saw that Scott Kuberg on the back was actually making a crash. Was trying to get back to Grant Thorpe, and that's going to take a little while because he's currently 25 seconds behind him. Justin Murphy
is Peyton Presley. Peyton is running in P6 right now, but has the benefit of having made a pit stop. And if Peyton is on his 2nd set of tire compounds, then he may have an advantage over some of the people ahead of him who have yet to pit.
Well, I'm interested in that because what I'm showing is I believe he was involved in that pace lap incident, and he was on the mediums, but then he opted for the hards when he
would
jumped
that be
to the
the
pits
trick,
there. So
Chris? Would that be the trick?
I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I don't know.
That would be a very, very good trick, I have to say. Currently, Peyton is driving very solid, I have to say. Has found his space on those harder compounds.
Well, that's half the battle, really, is just working into a rhythm and just getting the car under you, getting the tires up to temperature.
Oh, we do hear that Nick Alsa has crashed. Let's have a quick look at what exactly happened. Looks like he overdriven the car a little bit, trying to take that outside line.
Ooh.
And then they both crash. All right, let's have a quick look at that again, because...
Is that, I think the other car is Scott Kerberg, is that right?
He was taking that line and...
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Just trying to work his way around the outside of Scott there, and like Scott maybe just went a little bit wide, made contact. That's going to be a heartbreaker there for Nick Alves. He still maintains 3rd position, but he's got his work cut out for him.
I was thinking that's an impressive part of Nick Alves. With that kind of crash and no damage, or I don't see that much damage going on, and enough for that 3rd position, although Parker Johnson is coming closer, is now 2.0 seconds with those softer tires, so he will get the benefit of that.
And what we saw there in that turn 8, again, is another one of these hard braking zones. You're coming in on that straight at about 130 miles per hour, and then you're braking hard down to about 65 miles per hour. The closing speeds just create all sorts of danger if you're near another car.
So let's have a quick look in the back. How's Carl Kukis doing? Well, he's not driving anymore.
So quick update on the tires, and again, it's a little difficult to know with the incidents, but I am showing Presley and Thorpe both ran 1 lap on mediums and went to hards. Stunnard did 5 laps on the hards and now is on the mediums. Wildermuth is on the hards after 3 laps on the mediums. And yeah, I think that's it. So if those all count, that's going to leave your top 5 as the drivers who have yet to pit and change tire compounds, basically.
Interesting.
I've been monitoring Peyton Presley's laps, who's still, who's driving on what appear to be those hards, and they again in P6 he may be able to make up 1 or 2 positions once the top 5 cars have to pit.
Yeah, I do have to say, if you look at the lap times, Presley is not very consistent. So could be that his tires or anything else is bothering him right now. I'm curious to see if Thorpe is actually going to catch up with him.
Yeah. Up in P4, Parker Johnston, who's been running the race in this first stint on the soft tires, he's just been eking out a 10th here or there to Nick Alves in P3. Of course, he made up, I think, almost a second of time when Nick had that incident, but it does appear that Parker is lapping 2, sometimes 3 tenths faster per lap right now on those soft tires than Nick Alves in P3.
Yeah, I do think you're right, and especially the last 3 laps, he's really gaining a lot. So that we'll see if he can do that on this lap as well, because that would mean he actually has a shot to come back on that podium.
Oh, it looks like there's been another issue here with
Justin Murphy. Justin Murphy went off track. Look at this. Justin Murphy went off track over here. Hope it doesn't have much consequence, but oh, that was a major crash for our leader currently. And look at that. Wow, he says that of that no damage, and he can actually repeat his driving. Amazing.
Boy, how he missed that bit of barrier is just crazy.
Well, and that's why we're doing the whole race. I mean, Justice Murphy had this in his hands, and it still kind of does. He's still got 1.8 seconds on second place there. So, but as they say, it ain't over till it's over.
No, but Jacob can smell it now, and you can see it also how he drives. He's a lot more aggressive, and he's actually gaining. Look at that. He's gaining time on Justice Murphy. Justice Murphy, who it looked like he was already the champion over here, halfway through, he's suddenly back into a fight. Nick Elves is 5.3 seconds away from that. Parker Johnson is in close in there. With the incidents that we've seen, I don't know who's going to win this.
Just a quick update, Eddie Wildermuth has gone off track, hit a wall, and is, I believe, is either in a tow or has the race over now.
Yeah, that's definitely an end of a race. And I do see that Justin Murphy is getting back into his rhythm, because he's 2.4 seconds and he's really making a lot of speed right now.
We do have 6 drivers remaining on the lead lap, and P7 and P8, which is Grant Thorpe and Justin Stunnard, are only 1 lap down at the moment, so that's a battle for position between those 2. And it's a wide gap right now. Grant Thorpe has just under 20 seconds, but I saw it coming down just a little bit, so that'll be something to keep our eye on as we approach the halfway mark here. Not quite, more laps, but we are getting there.
I do have to say that we normally do the skip races or the oval. This is a different race to watch. How do you like it so far?
I mean, this is wild. I love the sounds, seeing these cars, just the cornering speed they have and the straight line speed. This has been a lot of fun. What do you think, Peter?
Oh, I agree completely. Just the closing speeds in these heavy braking zones, and this is just such a perfect track to watch an F1 race. It just has all the danger. It's very technical, but it has a 200 mile per hour front straights. And stuff. You just also have all the speed. Pretty incredible.
Well, we got Nick Alves pitting out right now. He got the hard tire compounds on the car, so he's going for the long run there in the hards. Parker Johnson also in fourth place, and he will put the medium tires on after that 13 lap soft compound run. And that is Kevin Orlando.
Exactly. Kevin Orlando immediately he gets that toe. That could be very useful.
Get those tires up to temp and see what he can do. Reminder, Kevin Orlando still has to pit. He is up 6 spots now with that pass. So our biggest mover of the evening at the moment, of course, still has to pit, but
oh, and Parker Johnson is making a mistake over there, goes off track, and that means that oh no, Parker
Kevin.
Johnson is Kevin was actually making a mistake, and Parker Johnson takes full advantage of that on those new tires. Look at that.
yeah, that'll clear the way for Parker now to try to hunt down Nick Alves.
That did look like tires going off in a serious way for Kevin Orlando Jr., and so it'll be interesting to see if he opts to pit here. And looks like he's going to stay out for at least another lap. We are at the halfway point of this 30-lap sprint race.
So second place is Jacob Sirkovich, I should say. He's just inside of 3 seconds back from leader Justice Murphy, and just his last time around set his fastest lap of the evening at a 1:10.72. So he's hoofing it.
Yeah, and they are still not going in. I'm surprised a little bit by that. Sticking those medium tires should go off right now. But I think they're going to continue driving and try to see if they can overcut a little bit with those soft tires at the end. Because Nick Alves is now currently driving on those hard tires.
Obviously, if you want to, the longer you can make it, I mean, especially Justice Murphy here, he's in a great position. If he can maintain that lead on those medium tires, heck yeah, stay out there for as long as you can, as long as the car will handle it. Before you put those soft tires on.
Well, let's have a quick look at him while we're talking about Justice. I do see him a little bit wider in the corners, a little bit less on the apex. So maybe there is something with his tires. Yes, and here we do see that. I was telling you, this is not a broadcaster curse. This is just knowledge. You could see over there it went wrong, and immediately. Jacob Sirkovich took the opportunity over there, and that's Justin Murphy now going a little bit late, but going into the pit and needs to brake hard. I am curious
locked it up.
If that is enough not to get the penalty, but this could actually change the race quite a bit. Let's have a quick look where Nick Alves is currently going. He's going on to the straight. Could he overtake Justice Murphy over here as well? That will be a big surprise halfway through this race.
Oh, and a shock. Murphy puts on the hard tires.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and you wonder what the strategy is there. On the other hand, there are 13 laps to go, more than 13 laps.
Not having an opportunity to have done the practice race here, I'm not sure how long those soft tire compound tires last. So, I mean, Johnston was able to stretch it to 13, but I'm sure he was wheeling it there at the end.
Yeah, we do see that Jacob Sirkovich is also sliding a little bit in that last corner. On that straight it goes fine, but in those corners he has some more difficulties. And he quicks for the time to also go into the pit. So that means that everybody has been going into the pit. And we'll be curious to see if Justice Murphy can actually overtake Jacob Sirkovich right here. He is already going on to the straight. Sorry.
Just monitoring the pit entry speed, Jacob Sirkovich was about 10 miles per hour slower on pit entry than Justice Murphy. We'll see if that translates into.
Oh, it's going to be
position
close.
change.
Well, we can see Justin Murphy full on speed, but there is Jacob Surkovic. He's coming out of the pit, and look at that, they're going together, but it doesn't seem to work. But very importantly, Jacob Surkovic has chosen for the soft tire. So that's going to make a huge difference.
Well, this will be a battle to watch for sure, because this is two different strategies and two drivers that are seem to have equal mastery of this car on this track, but with completely different strategies, and so this will be fun to watch.
Yeah, we do need to commentate a little bit, but I'm excited about this one. I think Jacob has definitely got a shot. Jacob is really pushing that car already, yeah? Look at that.
Yeah, I forget if we talked about it here before the race, Peter, but one thing you had noticed was you touch the grass with these tires, and the car just was going right around. It's something we noticed in practice, so I think that's why you maybe see drivers taking a little bit more of a, what you call a conservative line, I suppose, just to avoid that, because as we see here, keeping the car straight is half the battle, and could lead to great success in the race. Oh,
Right.
Jacob has a little wiggle there, and we were just talking about
He is closing in,
But look
and
Look at that.
I think we're seeing the effect of the soft tires. And, the grass danger is, I think, a little bit higher in these slow corners here in the S's and in turn 12, just because there's not the benefit as much of the aerodynamic grip. And so you're really on the tires, and the tires are at their limit. I think if you lose even an inch of rubber on the tarmac, you're in serious danger. One question also is whether there's a DRS effect here.
There is. I was just looking. It's so funny you mentioned that, Peter. Great minds think alike. I think we've been doing this together long enough. I did the chase view here on Jacob Surkovic just to find out he crossed that DRS line. Guess what I saw?
And then here's the second DRS
there you go.
line right here. Yep.
See that wing activating, giving him that nice run. Not going to be enough this time, obviously, but he's just inching closer and closer. You can see Justice Murphy. He's getting looming really large in Justice Murphy's rearview mirrors here.
Yeah, I do have to say that this looks like it's really the battle for the race. The driving away from Nick Alves and Parker Justin. This is really Justin Murphy and Jacobs Surkovic who are going to make an interesting race out of this.
Absolutely. The rest of the field, just to tick through the current order while we're watching this 1-2 battle, is Nick Alves in P3, Parker Johnston in P4, Peyton Presley in P5, and then they're followed by Kevin Orlando Jr., Grant Thorpe, Justin Stannard, LD Wildermuth, Carl Cukes, Scott Kerberg, and Brad Ringer. Oh, and we are seeing the
Jacob's going to make... Yep. He sticks it to the inside there on turn 1, is able to make it happen.
Right, let's have a quick look at that in the replay. Look at that. That was in the first corner. He's making that move, yeah. Undefendable that way. Jacob chose the right way, but now it's all about tire management. Is he going to be able to hold those tires together?
Well, Eddie Wildermuth checking in on, I believe that's YouTube, and his take, the softs fell off pretty bad after 8 laps, so keep an eye on that for.
Oh, that's great to see that. Yeah, that's great to understand that a little bit, because Jacob
there will be 9 laps. There will be 9 laps to go after this time around.
Was that a mistake of Justice?
Yeah, Justice had a moment there.
Yeah.
I think he put a wheel off track there and really had to lift.
Yeah, and then suddenly it's 3 seconds.
Not sure where they had DRS activate, or the what do they call it? The line is for determining if you're within the second, but he's certainly outside of that now. Just going to give Surkovic a real nice benefit here.
You want to watch Jacob Surkovic's lap times to see if he backs off a little bit and just tries to manage the gap in order to conserve his tires.
Oh, but there goes Jacob now as well. Look at that, Jacob made a mistake, and I do think that that was a little bit on the tires. And this will give maybe Justice Murphy a little bit of more confidence. I think Jacob Surkis is in trouble.
Well, while that's going on, to get about 3 seconds, let's tune in real quick to Peyton Presley in P4 and Parker Johnston in P5. Kevin Orlando fell down just a little bit, so Peyton Presley's actually up 5 spots. He's your biggest mover right now, but he is under fire from the guy he just passed, which is Parker Johnston. These guys going to toe-to-toe here. Presley on the hard compound, Johnston on the mediums.
Very interesting.
So yeah, so that's actually working out. Another thing to point out here, Presley's on the hard compound. He pit 20 laps ago, so this is going to be coming up on his 21st lap on these tires, whereas Johnston's on the medium tires and only 8 laps in. But so that just goes to show you how much Parker Presley has his car dialed in now. Another point of information here. Thank you very much for checking in, Eddie, by the way, and giving us some insights. He said track temps are playing a big factor in that. I did notice we've dropped down a little bit to 93 degrees Fahrenheit, but the track temps for the race actually were quite a bit warmer than they were in the practice session. So that may have caught the drivers not off guard, but certainly something they had to adjust for.
It is one of those days when there's occasional cloud cover, which seems to cool off the track a little bit, and then you get a break in the clouds, the sun just beats on the track, and the track temperature goes up by 3 or 4 degrees, and it probably makes a big difference in these very sensitive cars.
Well, we are in the waning hours of the race, and Jacob Surkovic is maintaining a 2.5-ish second lead. But, you know, there's still a lot of race left. A lot can happen in 5 or 6 laps.
Meanwhile, that battle for P4, currently held by Peyton Presley, but also involving Parker Johnston, it does look like Peyton is taking firmer control and now has a 1.2 second lead over Parker Johnston for that 4th position.
Parker doing a really good job to keep it tight, though.
Oh,
You
and
see that, it goes wrong. Look at that.
Of course.
We do take payments not to call out your name, but currently that's not going to be happening. And Jacob Surkovic is driving on that 1st position still. What do you guys think? Is he going to make it 5 more laps?
You know, I can't say anything now.
I'm seeing him going wide the whole time.
It's looking like his car is understeering pretty badly, and so that must be tires, but it is only 5 more laps. Can he hold on?
Yeah, I have a little bit of feeling of what is it? The McLaren driver, Landon Norris, who said, "Yes, I'm going to continue driving." We know what that happened with him, but it looks like Justin Murphy has found the speed. Is going here on that long straight, and it's currently 2.1 seconds. Let's see after this lap.
As a quick update, Parker Johnston is in the midst of a tow right now.
Also, a little further back there, Grant Thorpe in P6, Justin Stunnard in P7. Those were are the drivers 1 lap down. Justin able to just ever so slightly start closing that gap down to 16 seconds now, but it does not look like it's going to be enough, barring an incident here, with only a few laps remaining.
Meanwhile, just while we're watching Jacob Surkovic in the lead here, in these slow corners, his car is not turning in very well at all. And it is allowing Justice Murphy to close up the gap, now 1.5 seconds behind.
So still not quite in DRS range, but that gap is getting smaller and smaller by the lap, and it's reflected there in the lap times. I think it was about 0.5 seconds. That last lap, 0.7 seconds quicker than Jacob. So before it was Jacob chasing down Justice. Now we got the roles are reversed.
What's really interesting is Jacob's tires here seem to be more of a problem in these slower speed corners here in the S's, right in this section. And it's allowing Justice Murphy to gain some time, but on the faster sections, on faster corners, it seems that Jacob can pull out a more comfortable lead. Oh, and Justice Murphy has had a few little wiggles there, and he's lost about a second of time now in his chase of Jacob Surkovic.
Yeah, he drove a 1.9. It is a really quick time. He actually is the first time that Murphy is losing a second up here. It is now all on those tires of Surkovic. Are those red ones gonna hold it? The softs. Very, very important over here.
We're past that 8-lap data point we had. We're on lap 10 of these soft tires. So he is probably not super happy with the car and just hoping to hang on.
And so far it seems to work quite well.
I suppose I'd rather the car be pushing than oversteering, but either way, it's not a great feeling.
It's not a great feeling, but then and also that those 2 laps, I can imagine that you just want to finish it. Give him that 1 second.
Right.
Oh. And there goes Jacob Surkovic, solid as a rock, going into 29th lap with a 1.7 second advantage on Justin Murphy. And behind there we see Nick Alves driving on the 3rd position on that podium, also quite solid. Just needs to finish that race.
Peyton Presley has worked his way all the way up to P4, up 5 spots from where he qualified. And then being followed by Kevin Orlando Jr.
Yeah, really nice top 5 for presumptive top 5 here for him. He's also up 5 spots.
Yeah, because we still do need to make some laps, and I do see that Justin Murphy also locked up his car over there. I do think that those tires are not that off yet as those red ones from Jacob.
Well, if he's gonna make a move, it's got to be now. Here, we're coming around the.
Oh, and
he
Jacob's
does,
had
he
to
does
lock
make a
out.
move. Look at that, Justin Murphy. As we were talking about that, Justin Murphy went off track. He couldn't hold that car anymore.
Yeah, Jacob Surkovic just touched the inside curbing too much on turn 12, lost the rear end. I think he was really just trying to turn the car. It was understeering, had too much steering input, lost the rear end, and that's allowed Justice Murphy, as he approached the last lap of the race, to take the lead.
Wow, what an amazing victory, where it looked so easy for Justin Murphy on the beginning, and then at halfway through where everything went wrong, and here he comes back as a victory. That's gonna have an exciting feeling in this last lap on the 30 laps that we have over here. Justin Murphy 3.32 seconds ahead. Now it's just driving and finishing this race.
Oh, it
Oh
just
no! He's gonna lose it.
turn 10.
And there goes Jake. Jacob.
And Jacob Sirkovic did thought he was going to lose it, and suddenly he is there in that last corner as the first driver on the track. This is amazing. He is really driving it hard.
Oh, and
he's
meanwhile,
going to go to the
Justin
victory.
Murphy is in the midst of a tow. That's going to allow Nick Alves to take P2. And Peyton Presley now is in the podium spot in P3.
This is amazing. We wouldn't have thought it's going to be that exciting of a race when we saw halfway through. But Nick Alves comes here onto the long straight and deserves this podium. Was on the top of the whole time. Great, great position. And then, of course, Peyton Presley. Peyton Presley had difficulties in the practice, but is really coming through right now. Steady Eddie, I would call him. Look at that, going into that last corner. Just hold it straight over there, and then you can actually full power this onto the finish line. As we see Grindthorpe going in, but here comes Peyton Presley on that third position. Awesome job for him. What do you guys think about Kevin Orlando?
Well, both Peyton Presley and Kevin Orlando are two hard chargers of the race, both up 6 positions from where they qualified, finishing P3 and P4. Really fantastic. And then Justice Murphy rounding out our top 5. But what a drive by Jacob Sirkovic. He just really stuck with it and very, just never gave up on the race despite having some bobbles.
Yeah, this was an amazing job from Jacob. And also, I think we have to learn up here, never give up. Look at that. He is going to make a wheelie right in front of the... He's going to have troubles with the FIA. I don't think this is allowed. But he's going to do it anyway. Jacob Sirkovic, he won this race here in Interlagos. Congratulations from CAV-OK Racing Network. Enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, we've seen a lot in the past few races that we've done where just, even though it seems hopeless, just keep making laps and racing race the track, and good things happen. And you saw that for Jacob Sirkovic. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, this was an amazing part. Just have a quick look at the results. Jacob Sirkovic did win this race. Nick Alves on the second position, and then Peyton Presley continuing this podium. Awesome job. Is there anything we still want to see, guys? Are there any special moments that we have? I think we should definitely watch that last moment where Justin Murphy was crashing. I didn't expect that anymore, to be honest.
Well, to have
that's a
two
heartbreak.
changes for the lead in the last 2 laps, I mean, that's what you call excitement.
Yeah, and you do see
excitement, heartbreak, depending on which team you're on, I suppose.
definitely. Because I think a couple of times earlier we saw that Jacob was going round. So yeah, I think all of them has done that, and really in the end the best one won. So great move, great action all along.
Yeah, and honestly, hats off once again to all of the drivers. These are beasts of cars to get around a very difficult track here for Interlagos. And, for anybody watching who hasn't raced this combination yet, go check it out. It seems like a lot of fun, but certainly it'll keep you on your toes, and maybe throwing your iRacing equipment at the end of it. I don't know, but it certainly was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, Chris, you did buy the car right now. I have it as well. I haven't driven it yet, but when are we going to drive it? Because I'm excited to drive this car.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, as soon as I get home from this work trip, we are going racing. You can bet your butt. And I tell you what, I won't make you race the Mercedes scheme.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I want to thank Underdog Racing for letting us do this broadcast. Great racing of this league, and at a special time, guys. Always great to see some good racing with Peter and Chris.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, have a great night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the action here. I know I did for sure.
All right, thank you all for watching, and see you at the next broadcast.